Hello, everyone. Excuse me one second. I'm going to cough. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. How are you today? Hey, Robin, Jen, town chat. How is everyone today? Sorry, you're getting backlash from me. Hold on. Jen, town chat. There we go. How is everyone today? Good to see you. Roxanne, Cindy, good to see Diane, Tina. So good to see you. We are talking about Sebastian. I hope everyone's having a good day. You shared it. Thank you, Robin. Yes, At Night put out quite an update today, and many of you have been reaching out and asking me for the response, if I've gotten a response to the tip that I put in about the creeper hiding near the car right before Sebastian went missing. So I thought I'd get on here and address that. Hope everyone's doing well. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Walter's mom. Hi, Zipper. How are you doing? Hello, everyone. So I've been working on different things today. If you went to my community posts, you saw that I was working on the vehicles at Texas Roadhouse. And then just waiting, that tip that we put in with the images, just waiting to hear back. You all have been wanting to know who I heard back from on that. And I wanted to let you know right away. I'm just going to let a few more people come in. Hi, Selena Dixon. Hi, Doodle Mom. Good to see you. Hi, Valerie. So indeed, for those of you who are just coming in or who I'm not sure possibly what I'm talking about, we're talking about Sebastian Rogers. He was 15 when he was reported missing on February 26, 2024 out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. He's now 16. The last proof of life we have of Sebastian Rogers is leaving the Texas Roadhouse with his mother on February 25th around 6:25 p.m., the Hendersonville, Tennessee, Texas Roadhouse. We have recently resurfaced. We had found it a few months ago, but resurfaced again, an image that we had found lurking near the vehicle right before Sebastian is last seen. I have submitted that tip far and wide, and many of you, and we wrote a letter. I wrote a letter and have sent it far beyond to other places, as you know. Yes, please hit that thumbs up as you come in. Thank you so much, Selena. So I submitted it to the powers that be. The images of the tip of the man hiding by the car at Texas Roadhouse, I submitted, and I got TBI responded with their automated response, which is great. They can't give a personal one for everything they get, but they let us know they received it. At night, let us know they received it. And I had not heard back at all from Sumner County. And I'll get to, I sent a little email today kind of giving them a little nudge. So, to let me know that things have been received. So, and I'll read that to you as well. Actually, I'll go ahead and read that to you now. Let me go ahead and read that to you. And I have to admit, I was a tad bit frustrated because this is a life of a child. And I had turned in so many tips in the last, 72 hours, and hadn't heard anything back. So I just sent the lead detective. We're talking about the lead detective of the Sebastian Rogers case in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He's still missing. We have not located Sebastian. His father diligently brought in a team of Dog the Bounty Hunter and At Night, and they are aware of the tip that I sent in and have communicated with me as well. Hi, Maria. How are you? Hi, Whispering. So my frustration after a few days, right, of waiting, a couple of days, waiting maybe a few. And hi, Gypsy. I did write to Brandon Carter and I said, hey, as the lead, I didn't say, hey, excuse me, that would be unprofessional. I said, as the lead detective in Sebastian Rogers' case, and the fact that I've sent you about 9 tips in the last few days, including 7 today, I would truly appreciate a response that you have received these. It's your only case, right? How about some communication, please? Thank you. I did write that. And then within about 9 minutes, I got a response that said received. Thanks. Okay. So I just needed to know, did you get it? And I, remembered Seth saying he never sure if a lead's being followed or what. So I just had to give him that nudge because I was on the edge of my seat waiting to hear back from them too. Question: where did the crouching male go when KP backed out of the pairing space? To me, as Green Hoodie comes forth, there's a blur behind Green Hoodie. I am wondering if that's not the black-haired guy behind there. Okay. And I need to go back and keep watching that too. I was so focused on him between those cars. I do need to go back. But yes, I did. So for those of you I have received, and thank you because you care so much, Sebastian's Army. You care so much about Sebastian. I have received an abundance of emails asking if I've heard back from Sumner on the man lurking. Also, thank you. Many of you have sent email addresses to political figures, sheriff associations, everything. Thank you so much for all you're doing to help. And for those just coming in, I will just let you know, because I know this was what everyone really has been asking me and wanting to know is, have I heard back from Sumner County? And so I had not heard back. We submitted that, a few days ago. And I had not heard back as of this morning. So I did message Brandon this afternoon, Brandon Carter, lead detective, and I'll read it one more time and then we're going to move on with our updates. I said, as the lead detective in Sebastian Rogers' case, and the fact that I've sent you about 9 tips in the last few days, including 7 today, and I'll explain that in a second, I would truly appreciate a response that you have received these. It is your only case, right? Question mark. How about some communication, please? Thank you. And then about 11, let me see. 9 minutes later, he said, received. Thanks. Okay. So he's got them. He's got everything. I just want you guys to know he's received it. Dogs teams responded, interacting about them, about the images too. And the whole 9 tips is because you all are amazing, because you've been sending new valuable tips, and a lot of people have been sending valuable tips in since this image has been seen. They mean something different to you now, right? As you're looking in a different way. So I appreciate you all. So I've been sending everything in that you sent me. So I appreciate you all very much. I will read you the X update regarding Sebastian Rogers. Well, I read it in a video. I'll read it to you all as well. I know some of you, most of you, are not on board with the updates about watching the borders, because many of you have indicated to me you don't feel that's a possibility anymore. But let me tell you, in my opinion, you are welcome to your own. I have seen no proof of death. And the last we've seen was proof of life. Yes, we see people lurking. It's not good. It's not positive. Okay. Yes, we see flashlights in the backyard. It's not good. It's not positive. And we're going to talk about all those red flags tonight. Yes, we see, so many other things. Alleged scratch marks that exist on arms that are curious to us. Okay. We see so many things. And as you look back at things, they start connecting a little bit. Okay. And I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about those red flags that are starting to really connect in my eyes. They really are, because if you look at the thumbnail, before I get on to some other things we're going to talk about, if you look at this thumbnail, oh, yes, and many of you asked me, had Craddock responded to anything that was sent regarding the images? My answer is no. Okay, so we have, just bear with me on this because I want to talk through this for a second. Okay. We have a child that was reported run away. Without shoes, without a coat, in the middle of the night. He could only have gone through one door, crystal clear, stood on that porch, You know the drill. No scent ever led from the house to track Sebastian. No one ever saw Sebastian leaving the home on his own. Okay? We have an image that has appeared in the Texas Roadhouse footage, along with Green Hoodie, along with someone in the car next to Sebastian's, that is hiding, crouching right near the car before Sebastian is never seen again. Now, as Sebastian exits the Texas Roadhouse in this particular footage that Dog put out, you can see a lot more, right? We see that Sebastian, as he's exiting, turns and looks at the yellow raincoat guy. Then he turns back and he stands directly in front of the vehicle next to their car. He stands there with KP, right in front of the vehicle next to KP's car. Clearly, Sebastian knows the vehicle or knows someone that was in there okay? They stand there, and then Sebastian starts heading back to the car. The figure inside the passenger seat of the car, in my opinion, waves to Sebastian. And if you recall, At Night had said the last person around Sebastian waved and Sebastian didn't wave back. Sebastian looks very uneasy, and now he's gone. These things are very relevant. That is why I gave the nudge on the email. I cannot understand why the lead agency wouldn't respond to that. You know, we're not calling in the marshals, but we're not responding to the tips. So I'm just was devastated. So Brandon Carter, lead detective, did respond, received, thanks. But these are a lot of coincidences that I don't call coincidences. I call them red flags. And if you put them all together, we have a serious issue. Okay. We have people lurking at the Texas Roadhouse, other moving parts going on at the Texas Roadhouse. We have scratches on arms at the first interview that the individual said, I believe when he got home, he had short sleeves on and the dogs were excited to see him. If I'm correct, let me know, because that places those scratches happening the day of, correct? Okay. And then flashlights in the backyard. We just have that are called trash trucks. Well, you can't call this man lurking here a trash truck. Okay. You can't call Green Hoodie a trash truck. Now, Green Hoodie, miraculously, within the first hours of Dog and At Night releasing that footage and Green Hoodie being identified or being observed, Sumner County Sheriff's Office came out within hours saying they have identified the person, they have cleared the person. Now, I know many of you think that that's the person who's now deceased, but I know there's some of you who think it's another individual. Okay. Yes, Shirley, I have someone working on the marks on the arms. Okay. I do have someone working on a few people working on the marks on the arms for me. So all these put together, the night a young man is supposedly have to run away. You had people lurking around the car. Now, if there was no reason to hide it and you weren't up to no good, you wouldn't be hiding between the vehicles. Okay. Hey, Sebastian's Army, how you doing? I'm glad good to see you. Thank you so much. You been busy? Well, I'm glad you stopped in. Hey, Cowgirl. Hi, Castle. Hey, Peggy. Hi, Shirley. Good to see you. Correct. Now, Shirley, I know that we've heard they were interviewed on the phone, but I'm not sure if Sumner County came out and said that. I don't recall. I'll have to go back. Hey, Christina. Hey, Harley. I'll have to go back to that. But we just have a look, we don't not just have, there's nothing. We have a whole lot that's been going around the young man before he was last seen, when he was last seen. And that is why we have to keep screaming from the rooftops. Because with the lack of press conferences and the lack of talking about this case, many people probably still think Sebastian's a runaway who's not been seen. They don't realize people were lurking around the Texas Roadhouse. They don't realize mom went up for that footage demanding to see it. And if you were up there doing nothing but having dinner, you wouldn't give a rat's you know what was on the footage because you were just having dinner. Hey, Woman's Warrior. We have a lot. We have when the billboards went up. Remember the explosion by the stepfather about the billboards. It was vile. It made the locals very nervous. And they were remember when they thought that would definitely bring the sheriff out to tell them, we got control, nothing. So it's been a long ride for Hendersonville, believe me, and those neighbors. Okay. So the bulletin boards go up and, you get a bulletin board and it says, some of them, why did you take me? Or what did I do? That's a great message to the kidnappers that we know he didn't run away. That is a great message to let them know and to let the public know. It shouldn't bother any single individual, in my opinion, those phrases, except for whom they're speaking to. Okay? So we just have a lot going on. No one will be able to convince me that Sebastian ran away, because if we walked up to any sheriff, and I challenge you to, that is not located in this town, and you said the last time a young man was seen, there were two people, possibly three, lurking around the car. The mom was taking photos. She never turned those in for the flyer. It was a very strange circumstance. He went missing the next day. There's scratches on arms on the first interview. Originally, the mom and stepdad didn't want, the first thing they said is they didn't want their name out there or their house shown, and they told law enforcement they weren't going to speak to the media at first, if you'll recall. Then out comes the leak to flashlights in the backyard. Law enforcement says it's a trash truck. They don't have to tell us their investigative strategies, but as long as they're investigating. Okay? We have standards for our law enforcement here in the United States, and that is they serve, they protect, they take an oath. And the constituents pay their paychecks. So we have all of that going on and none of it being addressed. Okay. The only thing that's been addressed is Green Hoodie and the lights. So, and those, how many coincidences can you say are around a child and then say they don't matter, right? There are just too many red flags. And I know many of you don't think it's important that the borders are being watched because you feel that Sebastian's no longer with us. But I'm telling you, when I look at these things, he was taken out at 3 a.m., which is when they're transported to programs, schools. That may not be what happened, but it's another coincidence. Maybe other types of transporters come at 3 a.m. in the dark. I don't know. Okay, so yes, Sheriff Morrison's a fine example, absolutely, of Ellie doing it right. Absolutely. He's gracious, he's polite, he's out there giving updates. Does he want to be out there every day? I'm sure he doesn't want to be out there all the time, but he is. Yes, he's absolutely wonderful, as is Grady. And I do want to share with you all real quick that we have a press conference regarding many children who were recovered, and the marshals were involved. Now, what we need to do is if we have tips not being answered, and even Seth Rogers said on that interview with the local news around National Missing Children's Day, tips aren't being answered. He drove to Bristol, Virginia, based on a tip that Sumner County had too, and they hadn't even called or made contact. So this is true, and this is happening. Our Oregon witness, they never called or made contact. It took months until Dog's team and that night got involved that they were contacted. Okay? So it's not okay that these tips aren't, because one tip might be the true tip. But no one gets to decide, in my opinion, that they're just not going to care. In your job, can you get to choose one client, one student, one patient, whatever you're doing, and say, I don't give a hoot about this, or this is too hard for me? So I'm not going to ask for help because it's my ego. Possibly, right? But we got to get the marshals in. They're finding kids, and we need Sebastian located. And that one statement still resonates with me from the TBI person around the command center that first few days, where he is, he's not coming back from. That bothers me, because what does that tell us, where he is, he's not coming back from? That they knew where he is. It's been 16 months. You ask for help. Sorry if I sound so passionate, but I am. And I can't call in a tip to Sumner. You always have to write it, because when you call in the tip, it doesn't even say, and to leave a tip. It's got all these numbers to push, but never says to leave a tip regarding Sebastian Rogers. Please push 6. Nothing. It's so frustrating, my friends. But thank you for being here. I do want to mention, I do have someone working on, I have a few people working, assessing, and there's one more. Someone emailed me the name of their relative. I'm going to see if they'll look at it too. The marks on the arms and analysis. We just need to keep working, keep looking. We can't give up. We just can't give up. Whether it is a rescue or a recovery, let's treat it like a rescue. Okay, let's just do all we can do. Like every day, Sebastian's alive and waiting for us. That's what I want to do. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe it's going to bring me great disappointment. But then we can say, we never gave up. That's what I want to do. You know, womans, I'm not so much upset as I am passionate right now. I just think we're making movement. We're making progress. I think that the release of the images, I got a lot of stuff afterwards from people sharing things, you know, and I think that's starting to regenerate for people, you know. Yes. Sebastian's Army says, if I was a gambler, I would put money on that car being CB's car. It was identical to KP's car, in my honest opinion. Yes. We will stay tuned on that. Hit your notification bell, sub up if you have not. We are going to be getting to the arms and the cars. I am having people help me with both. So let's look at the great news that occurred today, because the marshals were called in. This is, let me put a banner up real quick. Florida. And I know when we say Florida, we all say Grady, but this was a different sheriff. This is Fox 13 Tampa Bay. Hold on, I just want to put a banner up real quick. Fox 13. Thank you all for coming in. If you would give it a thumbs up, because we want to, as much as we can, keep Sebastian's. Oh, Blinging Breeze, Beezy. Blinging Beezy, Bernie Allen, would you email me at crimetimebuzz@gmail.com? Thank you. I would love to discuss that with you. crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. Yes, we need to find him. You're right, Cowgirl Guardian. We're going to find him. Hi, Alcoholic. Alcoholic says, I believe they know, and it's unfair to treat Seth this way. It's their job to investigate these tips and quick covering. Thank you for sharing, Jay. You are so welcome, KK. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Let's go ahead and listen to a good news story real quick. The marshals need to be called into Sebastian's case. That is just, it has to happen. When tips aren't being responded to, Bristol, Virginia sightings, the father drives all the way there and they've never made contact with them. It's malarkey. Oregon sighting, never made contact with, not responding, even received when tips are going. We need the marshals. And if something's too hard, you don't give up. You pass it on. Let's listen to this press conference. Operation Dragon Eye from Florida. Numerous kids rescued. For fair use, I will be stopping it for a comment. Thank you all for being here.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Today is a big announcement. It's a tough situation that got us here, but we're excited to announce the successful completion of the largest child rescue operation, not just in Florida's history, but in United States history. In a 2-week period, this team, a collective work of many agencies and law enforcement personnel, rescued 60 kids. Kids that were in critical danger, many the victims of trafficking, many missing kids. We got a lot of people up here, and that's because it took a lot of people to get this done. What makes Florida the rule of law state is we're great at working together in collaboration across agency lines. So I'm excited to have here with me today William Berger, the U.S. Marshal for the Central District of Florida, Taylor Hatch, Secretary of Florida Department of Children and Families, Rita Peters, Special Counsel to the Florida AG's office, Mark Glass, Commissioner, FDLE, Catherine Gomez, Director, Florida Department of Juvenile Justice, Human Trafficking Intervention, Callahan Walsh, Executive Director of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
That's John Walsh's
Lee Burkhall, Chief of the Tampa Police Department, Anthony Holloway, Chief of the St. Petersburg Police Department, Tracy Cayley, Director of Operations for Baycare Behavioral Health, and Natasha Nascimento, Chief Executive Officer of Redefining Refuge. This is what it's all about. This is why we do the job. I've been on the job now several months. I've got 3 little kids, and I've made clear protecting our kids and keeping Florida the safest state to raise a family is our #1 priority.
Amen.
Today is a result of the hard work to deliver on that promise. Many of these kids have been through painful, disastrous situations, but at least today we've rescued them and we now can work towards recovery. I want to thank our law enforcement partners. I want to thank our victims advocates for being there for these kids in a time of need. And I want to thank my statewide prosecution team for coming in heavy here. We've put a lot of work on the statewide prosecutors since I took office, and they have delivered. I thank God daily for them, the work they're doing that's keeping the streets safe. And I want to thank everybody that wears a badge and puts their life on the line. They save lives. So I'm not going to say a lot here today because these people did the hard work. I'm proud of them. I thank them. We got 60 kids safely back in our custody because of them. So thank you. I'll turn it over to the Marshal.
Here come the U.S. Marshal.
And I know children are a priority with you. My name is Bill Berger, B-E-R-G-E-R, United States Marshal, Middle District of Florida, and I am overwhelmed by the results of this operation. Operation Dragonfly Eye, the largest in the history of the United States Marshal Service, if not the history of the United States. As the AG mentioned, 60 juveniles recovered in 2 weeks, ranging from age 9 to 17 years of age. Several years ago, Atlanta had a similar operation, which resulted in the recovery of 30 children over 6 weeks. This effort was a collaboration of, as the AG mentioned, 20 agencies with over 100 people involved. I want to thank the AG for providing the statewide special prosecutors. I want to say special thanks to Sheriffs Chronister, Golteri, and Naco, FDLE, of course, our police chiefs, my friends, Lee Burkhall and Tony Holloway, Hillsborough County State Attorney, Susie Lopez, who many will be speaking in the very near future. It should be noted that Tampa Mayor Jane Castor and former Mayor Bob Buckhorn also visited the command post and spoke to our team, emphasizing the importance of this operation. We put together this operation emphasizing recoveries, but I can tell you I stressed arrest because experience tells us if the offenders are not apprehended, they will reconnect with these children. They are, in my opinion, leeches. Behind me, you will see the pictures of 8 persons who were arrested and charged with crimes ranging from human trafficking, child endangerment, drug possession, and trafficking.
Before we get into the photos, so he is from the U.S. Marshals, and they are about to show us 8 creepers who were arrested involved in this. This is the state of Florida, and it is our dear sweet friend's neighborhood, who is Jules DeCali. Interesting. So many of these are hitting close to home for so many of you. We've got the Travis Decker, High Broken Branch. We've got the Travis Decker case where it's right around Prayer Warriors neighborhood. So let's keep listening. This is the U.S. Marshal talking, and he's about to show us who they apprehended.
When arrested, they were given bonds ranging from no bond to $250 million
Look at the kids.
bond. I've never heard of that before. Finally, it is important to give credit where credit is due. The one person who was tasked with setting up this operation and universally has been recognized by all people involved is Deputy U.S. Marshal Mario Price. Mario will make himself available after this conference. Thank you very much.
It's good to put bad guys away. There's nothing more fulfilling. Next, we got Taylor Hatch, Florida Department of Children and Families.
Hi, Poppy. Hi, Canadian.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. My name is Taylor Hatch, and I have the honor of serving as the Secretary for the Florida Department of Children and Families. I am grateful to stand alongside so many dedicated professionals and colleagues. The U.S. Marshal for the Middle District of Florida, William Berger, FDLE Commissioner Mark Glass, and the Attorney General James Uthmeyer. Thank you to the U.S. Marshal Services and for Florida Department of Law Enforcement for organizing today's event alongside the Attorney General. It is an opportunity not only to reflect on the success of Operation Dragon Eye, but to reaffirm our unified and shared commitment to promote the safety and the well-being of Floridians, in particular children. As you might imagine, an operation of this magnitude requires strong coordination at every level. From the earliest planning discussion to recovery and ongoing supports, DCF was proud to work alongside its federal, its state, and its local partners. Together, we recovered vulnerable children, and we mobilized ongoing resources to support their well-being. The DCF team provided critical information, helped shape recovery protocols, deploy child protective investigators, criminal justice coordinators, and human trafficking specialists to support this mission in real time, to ensure that every child recovered was met with care and was met with compassion. I would like to give a well-deserved recognition specifically to our team of 10 DCF operatives. Thank you so much for your expertise, your unrelenting dedication, and your incredible passion. Your work directly resulted in the recovery of 26 of the 60 children. That is an incredible impact. And as a mom and as your leader, I am beyond proud and honored to work alongside you. The appreciation and pride also extends to our outstanding work from our lead agency partners and victim advocacy partners as we work together focusing on the importance of trauma responsiveness and placement for the children that were recovered. Specifically, I'd like to thank Children's Network of Hillsborough, Family Support Services in Pasco and Pinellas, as well as Bridging Freedom, More to Life, Redefining Refuge, and Hillsborough Children's Services to again secure trauma-informed care, safe housing, and the right services to support each child both immediately and in their journey ahead. Because bringing a child to safety is only the beginning.
An agency called the National Child Protection Task Force helped out, and I pulled up information on them for us to look at after this. This is a great press conference. I wish Summer was one of the 62. I wish Sebastian was one of the 60. I wish so much, right? So, but someone's 60, someone's child came home. Here we go. You ready? They're doing a press conference for Operation, oh goodness, I forget the name of it now. I want to say Dragon Eye. I'm sorry, you all.
Helping them heal is the work that we know follows. I want to again thank the leaders from the United States Marshal Services, FDLE, and the Attorney General, as well as your teams for your partnership and for recognizing the impact of our agencies and partners' contributions. As Secretary, I am honored to serve Governor DeSantis, who leads by example, who sets the pace, who sets the tone and the expectation for delivering for Floridians and their families. Operation Dragon Eye is a powerful example of what we can achieve when we come together with urgency and with shared purpose. Thanks to your efforts, 60 children, as you have heard, are now safe and supported, and that is something everyone should be proud of. Thank you for standing in partnership in the unified mission to protect such a truly precious population, the children of our great state. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Next, we have Rita Peters, Special Counsel in my office, who they refer to as Rico Rita.
I don't think I'll ever outrun that name. Good morning. As you heard, my name is Rita Peters, and I have the privilege and honor of being special counsel to Attorney General James Uthmeyer. I've been keeping him a little bit busy the last few months, I think. It is an honor to stand before you this morning, along with my partners behind me and the worker bees in the audience, to share that 60 children were recovered, as you have heard. And it was only through the partnership of these federal, state, and local agencies. The number is not just a statistic. It represents a life and a future that was given one more chance. This operation reflects our agency's commitment to protecting the most vulnerable, our children. And this operation shows the extraordinary work collaboration between all of our agency partners. We all worked in lockstep to bring these children to safety. No one agency could have accomplished this alone. It was a team effort rooted in our shared responsibility, our civic duty, and unwavering determination to keep Florida safe. As prosecutors, our role goes beyond the halls of the courthouse. We are ministers of justice and advocates for the voiceless, and we are committed to being part of the solution along with our agency partners. Recovery is just the beginning for these children. They will need care, counseling, and attention, and we will join with our partner victim advocacy organizations as well as with the Department of Children and Families to be part of that. When a child goes missing, the whole community suffers. Children are not just our future, they are our present, and they deserve safety, dignity, and every opportunity to grow and thrive. It is our duty to protect our children. Their lives matter deeply, and their safety will always be our top priority. And today, through the powerful collaboration and the shared mission, 60 children were given hope, caring, and protection. Thank you.
Their journey just begins now. They've been found, they've been brought to protection, safety, and now they have to work through what they've been through, the traumas, the fears, the ABUSE of whatever forms came to them. So thank goodness they persevered. And I do have a press conference about the over 100 children that were found or rescued in Texas as well in April. 60 kids are going home. 60 families have been given another gift. Absolutely, Whispering. Thank you for that. 60 kids. And one of these days, Summer and Sebastian are going to be in there. They are. This is a great way for them to talk about working together, collaborating, bringing in everyone who can be brought in, because that's what children deserve. Thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up if you would.
What's yours? Sorry.
We've got a lot of people here. I can't remember them all. Next, we've got Mark Glass, Commissioner, FDLE.
Thank you, General. Appreciate it. My name is Mark Glass. I'm a Commissioner of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and 60 children, 60. Marshal, I just want to say thank you for your team, chiefs and majors. I appreciate you, sheriffs that are contributed to this operation. As you heard before, not one agency can do it, not one. We all have to work together. Children are a precious gift to us, and we have to protect them. We think us as heroes sometimes, but our heroes are really, if you just look at the blurred out faces up there, there's your heroes. They sustained so much trauma over a long period of time. And my hat is off to you caregivers and victim right advocates, patrol officers, agents, detectives, and deputies that are out there trying to make a difference and trying to find these children. Remember my first one when I was a patrol officer, and I found one, and it was one of the most elated times I had because I was able to felt like I went home and I did something. I actually helped someone, and it was a runaway.
Amazing.
But now we have, and we still have for years, human traffickers. Horrible, 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 horrible. And we should purge those from our society, put them in jail where they belong. And we can't do it by just one agency. We have to work together, from NGOs to victims' rights to all law enforcement. We have to do that. And our prosecutorial staff, the things that they have to see the whole case. They have to see everything that happens to these children. And we need to pray for them because they had to take that burden home, just like the victim rights advocates do. And this doesn't stop here today. This should continue on and on. These 60 here, we have to rally behind them, rally with them, and continue to give them caregiving and support even into their adult years. Because your mind does not get developed, I believe, up until the age of 25. So the trauma that they faced all through this time is horrific. And we as a society should always galvanize together to help those who are much in need. So my hat's off to everyone here that is listening. My hat's off to everyone that worked on this. And Marshall, I do appreciate your team. General, you've been a stalwart on this. And I just want to say thank you for continuing to have the strike team in Tampa Bay. And we're going to do everything we possibly can to stop it. Now, this is a little plug. So if you see something, say something. That's one thing we always talk about, no matter what it is. It may not seem right. You may be at the grocery store. You may be in your neighborhood. This doesn't happen. This type of stuff happens in plain sight. It's right in front of you. You just got to look for the signs. You can go to the human trafficking hotline, which is 1-855-FLA-SAFE. That's 1-855-FLA-SAFE. You could go to FDLE's website. Once you make that call, we make immediate response to the local agency that is in the area to follow up on. We also we want you to call 911. I know everybody thinks, well, maybe I shouldn't call it. Well, look, if you can't figure it out, just call one of those two numbers. Somebody will come out and help. And I'd rather say something so that way we can do something, and together we can make things happen. So to all that is here, I just want to say thank you. And we're going to continue to fight this good fight. Thank you, General.
Catherine Gomez, Director of the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice, Human Trafficking Intervention.
Before she comes on, I want to tell you all, today in that update that we received, it explained some of the ways that they can traffic and move kids and stuff, the tactics. There's about 5 or 6 that they listed, and we're going to go over that. Okay. I did see that, Shirley. I have been head deep in dealing with all this stuff going on. Because once I put out the images, a lot of stuff has been sent in, and I have to send them as tips. So I'm sorry, I have been busy. If you sent me an email, I will be getting to you. I promise, Shirley. I saw your email and it broke my heart. Also, someone sent me, I saw that a child drowned in Colorado. So heartbreaking. Yeah, the answering of the phone is very bothersome. Very bothersome, Woman's Warrior. Thank you for your, I want to say thank you real quick, but I don't want to do it in the midst of this press conference because it's so valuable. But Town Chat, thank you for your super sticker. Jules DeCali, this is her neighborhood. And Christine Alaska says, hashtag find Sebastian Strong. Thank you all very much. This is my birthday week. So I put that down for you all as my goal. I said, hey, it's my birthday week. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, what is GFWC? It's not clicking with me right now. Thank you, Charlene. I have like 8 little dogs, and then bite marks are not from a scratch. No way. Yeah. I'm working on those too. Have people looking at that for us. Yeah, no one picks up a phone and Blanche is gone, and it's just terrible. Let's keep going. This is such great news for 60 kids. They're going to get to safety. They're going to get home. They're going to get the help they need. God bless the U.S. Marshals and everyone else who is involved.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Catherine Gomez, and I serve as the Director of Human Trafficking Intervention for the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice. Thank you all for being here today. And thank you to everyone that is behind me. Thank you to all of our partners and colleagues in this mission led by the U.S. Marshal Service, and specifically by the tireless and relentless efforts of Deputy U.S. Marshal Mario Price. I want to express my gratitude to every agency that's here and every staff person that's here and every person in the audience that we all worked together for so many weeks and worked so hard. And I can see the tired nods in the audience because I don't think any of us are really caught up on sleep just yet. But it was worth it because we ensured that 60 recoveries, 60 young people were given an opportunity. 60 young people were brought home, whatever home that may be for them. This was a coordinated effort between law enforcement agencies at the federal, state, county, and local level, as well as other social service organizations, child welfare organizations, community partners, all united in the exact same mission, bringing these young people home and giving them an opportunity at recovery. And I and my agency are delighted and honored to have been part of this. To have this many kids recovered, really, as the previous people have spoken about, is really a testament to the partnership and coordination and collaboration that it took between every single agency to make this happen. None of us could have done it all on our own. Over half of the young people that were recovered had juvenile justice system involvement, either current system involvement or prior system involvement. But one of the beauties about this particular operation was that we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every young person. So regardless of juvenile justice system involvement, all young people had the same opportunity to receive the recovery services that all the children had. And for that, we're eternally grateful to the mission and to the project. Every kid recovered by this operation is an opportunity. It's a chance, it's a touch point, it's a connection for that young person and the larger community. And maybe today will be the day that that young person decides to make major changes in their life. Maybe today is not that day. But today, at least, that day of recovery, that day, we know that they were safe. We know that they're okay. We know they're safe. We know they had an opportunity. We know they had a good meal. We know that they had a chance to talk to people that can help them. And that is worth it. So thank you again to everyone. Thank you to the collaboration and partnership and coordination, and to all the agencies that are behind me. And together, this is not the last one. Together, we will continue to carry this momentum forward. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Welcome
Thank you.
in,
Next,
April.
we've got Callahan Walsh from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
This is Adam Walsh's son, or John Walsh's son.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Morning. I'm honored to be here today on behalf of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. First, I'd like to thank the U.S. Marshal Service and all the federal, state, and local agencies and nonprofit organizations that are involved in Operation Dragon Eye. NCMEC was proud to support this operation by sharing case information, real-time analytical support, and background research on missing children in the region. During the course of this effort, we were able to identify at least 26 children recovered who had been previously reported missing to NCMEC, some of whom were flagged during and in advance in preparation before the operation even began. Thanks to the incredible coordination by the U.S. Marshal Service and its partners, more than 60 children were safely recovered across 3 counties. This is more than a number. It represents dozens of lives brought out of harm's way and a powerful testament to what can be accomplished through communication, collaboration, and data sharing. We're grateful to play a supporting role in efforts like these and remain committed to helping agencies across the country bring children home safely, because every child deserves a safe childhood. Now, in addition to my work at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, I also co-host the television show America's Most Wanted alongside my father. Finding bad guys on TV is a great thing, but bringing home missing children, that's hitting a home run. And this team here behind me and out front brought home 60 missing children. It is incredible, it really is. I hope to see more of this in the future. Thank you.
All right, we've got Lee Burkall,
60.
Tampa Police Department Chief.
3 counties, yeah.
Thank you, General. In the short time frame of this operation, alongside our partner agencies, our detectives assisted in locating and recovering, yes, again, it's worth mentioning, 60 missing runaway juveniles and the arrest of 8 adults for human trafficking and interference with child custody. This operation is a powerful example of the importance of collaboration and the tireless dedication of everyone involved in this operation, including the 6 from the Tampa Police Department Special Victims Unit. Each recovery and arrest is more than a statistic. It's a reminder of our shared commitment to protecting the most vulnerable among us. It's a reflection of the oath that we've all taken and the mission that we carry forward. Lastly, if it hasn't already been made clear here today, when it comes to protecting our most vulnerable, there are no boundaries between agencies. And that's very clear today.
Did we hear that?
And there will be no
Let's-
safe
let's
haven
get
for
back.
those that cause harm. This operation is all taken and the mission that we carry forward. Lastly, if it hasn't already been made clear here today, when it comes to protecting our most vulnerable, there are no boundaries between agencies.
Boom. When it comes to protecting our most vulnerable, there are no boundaries between agencies. They all come in, they're all called, they all work together. It is really unfortunate that it's not happening that way in some areas of Tennessee. Hi, Frank. Welcome in. We have a new member, by the way, friends. Welcome, April from Illinois. Welcome. Our family reunions are Saturdays, and welcome in. Welcome to the family. Everyone, welcome April. Hey, Frank. Welcome in. We are going to bring Sebastian home. We're not giving up till we do. Yeah. Not in Tennessee. I know. I feel you. I'm having the same frustrations. And Jules Kelly says, welcome new friends. Yes. Got a great chat, great mods here. Everyone will make you feel very welcome. This is just really, really enlightening and
that's
positive.
very clear today. And there will be no safe haven for those that cause harm. This operation is a powerful example of the importance of collaboration. These arrests and recoveries should serve as a reminder of the Tampa Police Department's commitment to fighting and protecting for our most vulnerable. Thank you.
Very well said.
All right, next we
Hi,
have
Laura.
Anthony Holloway, St. Petersburg PD.
Your dog
Good
and my
morning.
dog
Thank you,
look
General.
alike.
Marshal. Without the Marshal and the Generals taking lead on this wouldn't be possible. So I also want to thank our federal, state, and local partners, because this shows everyone that here, not just in Florida, but in the Tampa Bay area, we are serious about recovering our children and making sure that we bring them home back safely. To the suspects that are out there, we're coming to get you. If you want to take our children, we're going to take you off our streets. I think we made
Yay.
it very, as you say from this morning, we're sending a message out to everyone that our federal, state, and local partners are working together to make sure we bring our children back home safely. And we're making sure that we take our suspects off the street. And as I said earlier, 60 is a big number. For the city of St. Petersburg, we had 11 on the list and we recovered 11. And again, that's thanks to all the hard work you've seen behind me, especially to the Marshal. So again, I want to thank you for that, sir. And I just want to end on this. As they say, the state of Florida is not going to be allowed. And I can tell you in the Tampa Bay area, we definitely will not allow it. So thank you.
All right, Tracy Cayley, Baycare Behavioral Health.
I'm going to stop it for fair use, but
Thank
just
you.
because I want to say something real
I
quick.
appreciate the
Tough on crime. I like it when they speak to the perpetrators. I love that. I think it makes them squirm. When you have a case or something going on and you have a sheriff, a police chief who has never addressed a suspect, a perpetrator generally, and I know I always bring up J.D. Huff from Fruitland, where Michael is, Vaughn, but he said even when they had no clue what was going on, he would get in front of that camera and say, you're not doing this to one of us. It's nice when they talk to him. He say, watch out, watch your back, we're coming. And that's what these guys just said. You need to hear that. They need to hear that. You are so welcome, April. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We are going to bring him home because we're not going to give up until we do. Thank you so much.
opportunity to stand with all of you today in recognition of the great work that is done when communities come together. As others have stated, this unique coordination among multiple agencies involved with the success of Operation Dragon Eye was truly seamless, and Baycare is proud to have been a part of it. This is the second year that Baycare has assisted the U.S. Marshals Service in providing medical and mental health services for youth recovered during a special operation. As the largest provider of pediatric and behavioral health services in the Tampa Bay area, Baycare is uniquely equipped to care for this vulnerable group of children. Together with our community partners, Redefining Refuge, Bridging Freedom, More to Life, we established a recovery hub at one of our Baycare locations with a vision of creating a safe and secure space in which to provide high-quality healthcare in a manner that was respectful and consenting. I am so proud of the tremendous care shown to these kids and of the countless Baycare team members, from our security personnel to our physicians, nurses, counselors, food and nutrition team, lab, and others who volunteered their time and talents to support this important mission. I also want to thank the Department of Children and Families for their extraordinary efforts in securing safe housing for those who were rescued and for the work they do every day on behalf of endangered youth in our area. Through operations such as these, we bring awareness to child trafficking, hold people accountable who would do harm, and show young survivors through our actions that there is hope. There are people who care, resources available, and a better future ahead. Thank you to all the agencies represented here today, and congratulations to the U.S. Marshal Service for a job well done.
And last but not least, Natasha Nascimento, Redefining Refuge.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here to speak on behalf of Redefining Refuge and the children that we serve. And I'd just like to start by saying a huge thank you to our board of directors for the unwavering faith in our mission, and to my incredible team, to Addie Pena and Celeste Williams. You carry this work with so much grit and so much grace, and honestly, a courage that I think few people see, but that I know many children benefit from. So thank you. Our organization had the privilege of providing trauma-informed supports, post-recovery services to children, and also the honor of hosting the centralized command post for all of these amazing people. And that is where this remarkable collaboration took place. And as you've heard from everyone here today, that's exactly what this was. It was a collaboration. It was a relentless coordination by agencies, by advocates, and by law enforcement, who all sort of got in a room together, and we just refused that the word missing was going to be the way that these children were remembered. You've heard a lot today about statistics and data, and I would like to close this press conference by sharing a story. And it's a story that I believe captures the heart of this mission. And it's probably a story that no statistic can ever measure. This US-led martial operation didn't just recover children, it recovered generations. And let me explain. Several children that were recovered during this operation were pregnant. One such child, a girl, barely beginning her own life, and yet she was carrying a life inside of her, the baby actually of her trafficker. And when she was brought to Baycare for medical assistance, and to one of my team members, Addie, who I've already mentioned, Addie had the great privilege of going with this child to get her very first ultrasound. She was in her second trimester of pregnancy, and she had never, ever heard the beating heart of her baby. And so the ultrasound began, and she heard her baby's heartbeat for the very first time.
Oh my
And she
gosh.
just began to weep. And all she said to Addie was, "My baby."
Aw.
But this moment awakened something in this child, and it shifted something in this child. And it was almost as though she realized that instead of just doing the soul-stretching work of surviving, she was willing to fight for the life that was inside of her. And so to every single person that is sitting in this room, to the officers who knocked on that door, You didn't just give our child a chance. You didn't just protect her. You protected her child. And now because of you, a baby has the opportunity to be born addiction free. This child was forced to use substances by her trafficker throughout her pregnancy. And so a baby gets to be born addiction free. A baby gets to be born to a mom who's not being sold every day. And a baby gets to have a story that doesn't start with trauma, but that starts with recovery. Oh, goodness. So to everyone involved in this operation, again, you didn't just protect children, you protected their children. You didn't just, save one child, you saved generations.
Wow.
And I just want to say to Deputy U.S. Marshal Mario Price, thank you. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you for choosing this team. And just thank you for the reminder that when good people show up and a good God shows up, we can do some really remarkable things.
Amazing.
So thank you.
Very enlightening, and that's their ending with that. But just when good people show up, good things can happen. Very good. Very good. Yes, please use initials in the chat. Thank you so much. And thank you all. I am going to show you real quick on X what they posted that people do share or do when they are, with kids, TRAFF. Okay. Because today, when they posted this update, I want to share this with you. It says forged. Okay, so let me scroll it down just a little. Hello, everyone who's coming in that I haven't said hello to. Hey, Show Poodles. Hey, Susanna. Hello for Criming Out Loud. Oh, that's cool. Criming Out Loud said, I shared Sebastian's story to a bunch of local Facebook groups that I'm in out here in Texas. Ironically, Sarah, Seth's sister, was in a couple of those groups and thanked me for spreading the word. That is wonderful. That's really cool. Hi, Just Me. Hi, Prayer Warrior. You're in the bushes. Well, we're glad you're here. Glad everyone's here. So this is from the update from at night today, talking about that they went to high alert again on the borders, the Mexican borders and ports of entry under trafficking watch, that Sebastian's still missing. Okay, the main areas of concern right now are Tijuana, San Ysidro, Otay Mesa, California, terminal at Tijuana International Airport, because it's high dual national for that. Direct terminal to terminal pedestrian crossing from Mexico to U.S. soil. Increased risk of child movement in plain sight, obviously, right? That's terrible. And then Nogales. I know people up there, so I've sent some information out. El Paso, Laredo, and Brownsville, Texas. Interagency reports indicate recent upticks in smuggling activities involving minors through familiar cover stories or fraudulent documents. And Matamoros, Brownsville Bridge, McAllen region. U.S. citizens returning from Tamaulipas, a known TRAFF corridor. High cartel control complicates intelligence cooperation. And then the maritime, they've got the waters being watched, the Pacific coastline and Gulf access. Private boats, fishing charters, and commercial freighters may be unknowingly or willfully used to smuggle minors in false custody scenarios. This is what I really wanted you to see, because we've talked about this a lot. Many times when we've talked about, scenarios. Hey, Lisa B. Always. Thank you. We talk about scenarios, right? About what could happen. And many will say, well, he can't be in a school or a program because, or TRAFF or whatever, we need documents in order to move him, etc. But I always say dirty money buys dirty. Okay. And they can buy anything. Okay. So one of the tactics involving children, the known tactics for involving kids, is forged custody documents to mimic cross-border family travel, split family entry, one child comes with one parent first, adult follows separately, suppressed identity tactics, eyeglasses, dyed hair, silence conditioning meaning threat intimidations for them not to speak up or speak out. Excuse me. Travel via nighttime shuttle networks, silent cargo method, where children are hidden in wheel wells, luggage compartments, or trailers crossing near San Isidro or Laredo. They've got lots of ways. You know, for crying out loud, that's such a great question. I would hope so, because they had the Border Patrol involved in everything. I would think so, but it wouldn't hurt for us to circulate them back out, right? Just in case. It never hurts for us to keep going. That's a great point. I'm writing that down too. Thanks so much for being in here. So these are things, tactics. They're on high alert today with Sebastian. Things are odd. And I don't know how else to tell you that it's odd. I don't know what to say about law enforcement. And I know many of you want an answer regarding Sumner County, and I cannot give it to you. I can say in less than 72 hours, I have sent them 9 tips. And I had to read the email that I read to you. I'll read it again for those who are new and coming in. After 72 hours or whatever, however hours of waiting in total. I sent some to him yesterday or today too. But finally, I sent a message. And I'm not one who will normally, well, I shouldn't say that. If we're going to advocate, we expect answers. At least, because I remembered Seth saying he never knows when he sends something to Carter, if it's been followed, if it hasn't been followed. He drove all the way to Bristol, Virginia on a tip that Sumner County had, and they had not made any contact out there. So I wanted to know if he had received what I received, because I heard nothing, crickets, and Craddock has not responded at all to anything about the images. So I finally sent Mr. Carter at 1:38 this afternoon as the lead detective in Sebastian Rogers' case. And the fact that I've sent you about 9 tips in the last few days, including 7 today, I would truly appreciate a response that you have received these. It's your only case, right? How about some communication, please? Thank you. And he did respond within 9 minutes, but he said, received. Thanks. So we are going to, we're going to keep going. One thing I want to show you is let me get back to my little slideshow here, because they used something that I want you to see here. Let me go here. No, we already read that one. Where did I put it? Too many red flags. I am working on something right now with, here it is. I'm working on right now something with the arms and the vehicles. Okay, the arm marks and the vehicles at Texas Roadhouse. So hit your notification bell when I get them. I'm relying on others. Okay, yeah, I received. Thanks. Lisa, and believe me, that was a lot for them. I'm just kidding, in my opinion. This agency right here is one I'm going to send our letter to. And Jules DeCali says that last part, it's your only case, right? Well, I just don't understand. I mean, why not respond? Why not, say thank you so much? Why not have a number that you push with directions when you call there saying for some tips leading to Sebastian Rogers, push this number? Would it really be that hard to set that up? Not if you cared, in my opinion. Okay. But this task force, Dragon Eye, used National Child Protection Task Force was one of the task forces. So I am going to send our letter with our images and all of that to them as well. But I just wanted to share with you what they were about a little bit. So they are rapid response case support. Law enforcement calls on us for individual support on child-focused cases. Our team is available on demand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, maybe they have been called in already and helped on Sebastian's case, but I definitely think there's someone that I should send those emails to, that letter to. What do you all think? You are very welcome, KK. Hi, Fine Summer's Truth. Hi, Michelle. Let me read this real quick. Robin, I agree with Seth's statement. CP hiding massive defense wounds to arm, but will proudly show in short sleeve on video when he thinks anything goes. CP is afraid of Seth. He knows if it's Sebastian. Okay. Yes, and I did mean all caps. That's cute. Okay, I'll send it. I will do so. Thank you all for helping me figure some of these things out and for all the emails you've been sending. But they also, missing child rescue operations, live multi-jurisdictional efforts. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. Live multi-jurisdictional efforts to recover high-risk children focused on those in unstable living situations with a history of running away or suspected of being trafficked or exploited. Targeted assistance, 1 week remote intensives, working alongside a single agency, tackling multiple existing cases together, prioritizing minors and cases with unique risk factors. So that is someone that I'm going to send this to because I think anyone who eyes can be on it. I know. Do you happen to have an email? Because I don't have everything printed and all the images printed, Criming. If anyone can get me an email. Actually, someone did send me something today. I haven't gotten open it, and I think it said possible Cash's email. But yes, I did tag him on one of my videos, and I'm going to go back in and use his FBI tag on all these videos. That way, we know he's being tagged. I'm frustrated with Sumner County and TBI in this case. I can only imagine how Seth may feel. Me too. And we saw part of how Seth feels on May 21st when he did that local interview. And I just don't feel it's fair that any parent has to have that additional stress. There's so many parents in the world, and we have to admit this. There's so many parents in the world whose kids go missing and they don't go knocking on the station door to find out anything. I mean, I'm going to put myself out there and say, allegedly, in my opinion, Summer's parents, allegedly, in my opinion, KP, allegedly, in my opinion, so many others. Oakley Carlson's parents, her foster parents, yes, absolutely. Her real parents, no. Not a knock, not nothing, no inquiry. And it's a pattern with a lot of parents. So when you have parents who care, you should really, 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 really. Yes, he has an X account, so that's how I tag him. So that's how I tag him, is through his X account. That's what I was doing on that one. I already sent it to America's Most Wanted. Yes, I sent it to them. Yeah, they don't publish their email address, but many of the field offices for FBI have email addresses. But what's interesting is when I sent it in the whole big one with everyone else, the FBI ones didn't go. It seems like they didn't go through, so they have to be done individually. Yes, possibly G-Money Christmas. So I don't know, you all. I just think that there's a lot of coincidences. We've got the arms. We've got the flashlights. We've got someone crawling around, hiding around, crouching around a vehicle right before Sebastian is ever last seen. 2 people, plus possibly one in a car. We have the landfill search. Let's not talk about that. Forget about the lady who said she saw them hit on something and pull his clothing, allegedly, but that's what she said. She worked for a trash haul dump company. Really, all I need is Jesus. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I mean, there's just too much around there. And when the thing that bothers me is there's been no asking from the public to say, you know, hey, who's this guy? Can you guys help us determine who this person is? Who's lurking by this car? Because this is the last time Sebastian was seen. And we don't have that, right? We haven't heard any of that. They cleared Green Hoodie. Green Hoodie was cleared, right? But nothing was said. Well, okay. Green Hoodie, it said, yes, Passion Flower, we just watched the press conference, and I wrote down 2 names from it, from the U.S. Marshals, that I'm going to try and see if I can find a way to contact them. And yes, by the way, I did send the letter to the U.S. Marshals, the email. Okay. I need to make sure that one went through too. So we've been doing a lot here. But the thing of it is think about this. There's so many coincidences, right? I mean, it can be sent anywhere. It can be, if you can get me an email, I'd be happy to send it. Ooh, send me that message, email address, Woman's Warrior, if you would. You all have such great ideas. You've been sending me text to the Sheriff Association emails, people from your state that are legislators, and thank you so much. Lisa B. always said, I can't imagine the grand jury not indicting certain people with Sebastian's case. I agree. What I find interesting is since Sebastian's been missing, there have been indictments against a YouTuber who's never met or been in the presence of the P-Foots. But yet we don't have anything things brought to the grand jury. I'm sorry, not indictments, things brought to the grand jury regarding BHB. How do you keep doing that, but you're not bringing anything forward with all of this right here regarding Sebastian? That really irritates me. Blinging Beezy, I think it could be either. I'm not sold on it being the person that they thought it was, that was deceased, possibly. I think there's a couple others that it looks like as well. One other that it looks like as well, in my opinion, a male. Just speculating. Yes, there's no such thing as coincidence. So let's talk about it. Sebastian runs away, allegedly. Leaves his shoes, leaves his cash, leaves his phone, leaves his coat, doesn't like to be barefoot, loves his coat, wears it when it's cold, always has his phone, leaves that, leaves his switch. The whole circumstance, the doors are locked morning, night. The only individuals who have access to the codes and keys is Sebastian has access to the codes, CP, KP, Kathy B, Melissa P, and the house cleaner. So either KP opened the door or left it open and let someone in, or someone with access is the one who pulled Sebastian out. And that is where I am heading, because we are seeing people lurking. We are seeing a lot of suspicion going on. And we, unfortunately, I have to say it, are seeing a mother not search. And when you don't search, you know where something is. I'm not going to go searching for my dog missing. And I'm not comparing Sebastian in any way to a dog. I'm just saying if my dog got out and I knew he ran right next door, I don't need to search for him. I know where he is. Right? If my dog gets out and runs the neighborhood, I'm out searching if I don't know where they are. So you don't search for what you know. If it's not lost, you ain't looking. Let me just put it that way against my better English teaching ways. If it ain't lost, you aren't looking. And I just think there's so many red flags. And I think one of the biggest red flags that's going to be brought up over and over and over is being told, the public being told there's no foul play, there's no foul play, there's no foul play. We have nothing to prove there's foul play. Yet all of these things, yes, passion flower, and never running to the school to get his items. If my child were missing, I would go grab his pencil and hold it. I would see if there were any clues anywhere. I would race up there. Hasn't raced there, didn't race there. Seth went and got the stuff. Didn't go to the vigils, never raced to a vigil, never raced to a bike rally, never races to media. It's almost like she's dragged there on certain special occasions, in my opinion. The only place we've heard she's raced is the Texas Roadhouse after dog, not when Sumner County had the footage. She never raced to Texas Roadhouse. It was after dog and at night got the footage. So why did she care when they got it, but not when Sumner County had it? But when they got it, she raced there during the lunch hour, demanding to see that footage, and was asked to leave. Allegedly, that's what I've heard from sources. Now you tell me. Doesn't race for Sebastian, but in my opinion, that shows me she races to cover her own patootie. She also raced over to the neighbors. Remember, knocking on doors for footage, scared one neighbor to a hotel. Okay? Nothing, no expeditious behavior for Sebastian, in my opinion. So that shows us something was on that footage that she didn't want anyone else to see. She didn't care when Sumner County had it for some reason. But she sure showed herself there during the lunch hour looking for that footage. So there's something on there that was just not a dinner. She wanted to see what they saw. And if that mattered, that means there's something for them to see. And we see it. We've seen it. And I'm telling you, if, in my opinion, a lot's going to go down as people start to open their eyes about this. Because when you have, yes, Smiling Sleuth, hi, welcome in. Yes, hindsight was in my live the other day. Yes, thank you for checking though, because that's very important. Yes, hindsight was in my live the other day when we were talking about it. So thank you for checking. And I think I might have tagged her on a couple of the videos as well. So that's just where we're at. Exactly. She was asked to leave. Now, who would make a scene in front of the public? When you didn't care about it before, you actually made fun of Seth for wanting to look at the footage. Oh, he had to see proof of life, so we had to look at the Texas Roadhouse footage. Wouldn't you want to look at it? Wouldn't you want to look at your child who you hadn't seen in a few weeks? No. Made fun of him. But she sure wanted to see it once new agencies came in and had the footage. A lot going on. It's a lot of red flags. Keep sending me addresses. I'll keep emailing it out. It's not hard to email. As I said, I am working on something where I am needing to get out a little bit because on the car thing, but I'm here for y'all. I will see you again tomorrow. Sorry, I haven't done Unplugged, didn't do Unplugged today, and I may not get to it tomorrow because I'm going to try and get out before it gets 115 tomorrow and try and work on the car situation a little bit more, but you will see me tomorrow. Yes, so many red flags. She was nasty at the school meeting too, not a nice person. Yeah, I'm just very disappointed. And okay, so let me ask you a question. Has anyone heard of CP lately, or is he quiet? I don't usually listen to him when he's on panels unless it's something else. Oh, really, Social Butterfly? I've noticed that on there. I will tell you, on the TBI newsroom, they still have the wrong dates up on some of their flyers. Yes, I've known that. I've watched that. It's frustrating. What else can you do, right? So he's been quiet. Okay. You finished another quilt top, Lisa? Wow. Lisa Quilts. If you missed our Unplugged where people shared their talents, hobbies, businesses, go back and watch it. It was really cool to see what some of the people you spend time with in the chats do. Very cool, Lisa. Lisa's quilts are gorgeous. Ashley said he's probably quiet because he has his daughter. I can only say I hope not, in my opinion. Crickets from CP. He has all his minions attacking BJ. Thank you for letting me know all I need. Okay, my friends, thank you so much. This is my birthday week, by the way. So every time I'm on here, I'm going to be spending it with you during my birthday week. So I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me. Please hit the like button if you have not. Let's get this out there. People need to know responses aren't coming. Responses aren't coming. That Seth wasn't making that up on that interview. This isn't happening. Okay? So please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We'd love to have you. Mods, you do an amazing job. I have received so many compliments for how friendly you are, how welcoming you are. Thank you for all you do. And everyone here, thank you always for being so gracious. I'm going to go eat a little dinner, and I will see you all tomorrow. Prayers up for Sebastian. Let's hope something maybe will come of this high alert on the borders. Maybe some of you have written to me that maybe the images or the letters going out have, escalated things. Like, I don't know. We'll have to see. I have no idea, but I appreciate you all, and we all have hope. Let's bring him home. Talk soon.